All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got Lone Tar up in here. No big deal, Mr. Iron Fart. Get over here, Lone Tar. Oh shit. Oh, I'm getting there, boy. Woo! Where you think you going? All right, what's up, YouTube? This is my add-ons guide for Devastation Evoker for PvP and arenas. I just want to make a public service announcement for this. I like to keep it very simple. I don't like to overload my screen with a lot of icons and stuff that's popping up everywhere. So I know a lot of people in the comments on my Evoker guide were asking for my weak auras, and so I'm gonna go into that, and I'm gonna invite some of my friends in here, and we'll get this going, and I'll show you the add-ons that I use that I find that are required and very helpful for me when I'm playing arenas. Alright, so the first add-on you absolutely need is going to be either Gladius or S Arena. Now, S Arena is not quite working in the new patch, so I'm just rocking with Gladius right now, which is totally fine. I mean, I'm very used to Gladius. But, this will track your enemy frames, their spell bar casts, and the DR trackers for the CC that you put them in. So that's number one. Another add-on that I use is called Omni CD. And this is to track my teammates' buffs. Well, not buffs really, they're cooldowns. And you can go into it by typing /Omni CD, go into Arena, and then change the spells that you want to see based on the class that you're playing with. This is extremely useful because if my healer is not in CC, then I'm not going to panic and I'm not going to use a cooldown that I might potentially need later if my healer is CC'd. So that's why I use it. So if I know for sure that I'm in a stun and my healer has bark up, then I know that I can probably sit that, especially if he's not CC'd. He'll probably use something on me, probably Iron Bark, maybe even Trank if he needs to. Also, same thing for my Shadow Priest. If he has Void Shift available, I potentially might not use a cooldown because I know that he'll have it up. The next add-on that I use that is absolutely required in Arena is called Omnibar. So I'll pull it up here. And this is an add-on that will track certain things for you. And I put it so that it's nice and compiled here neatly on my UI. Right under my cast bar, so that when somebody uses one of these abilities, it will show up here. And that way I know that it's not available to them anymore, and then I can change what I'm able to do in the match based on these factors. And you will go to spells, and you can choose which spells you want to see. And also you can create multiple bars, which I have done specifically for Dispel. So Dispel is right here. I like to see it very clearly next to me so that I know if a healer dispels something, then they're not going to have a Dispel for the next, 7-8 seconds. So I can change my gameplay, or my playstyle accordingly. Another add-on that I found very useful recently was Nameplate Auras. So as you can see right here, and all this does is you can change the icons from what you want to see, but I really want to know if Shattering Star is up on my target. So I have it nice and big here with the sweep cooldown animation. Another add-on that I really do like, nice quality of life, is called Safe Queue. Essentially all this does is when an arena queue pops, it'll tell you how long you have before you can accept the queue before you miss out. And this is nice if you're killing a mob and you really need, or you need to get a tag and you're like, oh, I gotta rush this real quick. I have 10 seconds before the queue pops, Another extremely useful add-on that I use is called Big Debuffs. Okay. And it looks something like this, where my target will have overhead if he's CC'd, this nice little icon. And then my teammates, they'll have an icon next to their name so that I know they're in CC or not. And you can change how big these debuffs are in the settings right here. So generally I like to keep it on the right hand side. You know, you can do you know, inner, but for me personally, I like the right, specifically because if I have a focus target and a target, it doesn't actually get in the way. So I'll put a focus target up, and I'll go to big debuffs. I'll toggle the test mode, and even if I'm casting, you can see that it doesn't get in the way, which is what I want to do. I want to minimize the amount of clutter on my screen, and I want only the information that is most important to me readily available so that I can see it very clearly, very fast, and with no clutter at all. All right, so for the next add-on that I use, something that is actually new to me, being a character or a class that has utility for my teammates, and rather than making party 1 and 2 macros for each individual ability that I would potentially use on them, I just have made keybinds for target party 1 and 2. Okay, so the add-on that I use to do that is called sort group. Okay, just like this. Okay, and my settings in sort group is that I always put myself on the bottom, and then I want my healer to be on top. And if it's different for you, because this is done alphabetically, you can do this, ascending or descending. So for me, it's my druid is the letter C to start, so he's going to be first. So I have a keybind to target party 1 and 2. Also, for those specific abilities that I would use in my teammates, I also have a target self for those. So for example, I have a target self for Emerald Blossom, like this. So if I were to, so if I'm not targeting anything, then I press my teammate, and then I press Emerald Blossom, it'll go to him. But if I use it on Control F, that's my keybind to target myself and do it that way. All right, so you guys asked for it, and you were wondering what my weak auras are that I use. And actually the answer is I do not use weak auras, but I use an add-on called Tell Me When. And it looks something like this. And so these are individual abilities or procs or cooldowns that I want to see on my screen. The second that I use them, or the second that the proc becomes available, because it'll modify, well, it'll alter or influence how I choose to take my next action. So for example, I run up into an arena and I want to get combat as fast as I can because I'm playing against a rogue. I press Nullifying Shroud, and here I can see, instead of looking up here on the top right hand of my buffs, I have 3 stacks, 24 seconds left to go. So I know that if I'm going in, and all of a sudden this goes to 2, I know the rogue is close, and then maybe I can, you know, throw a root out, or, you know, I can try to immune the next CC. So that's really nice to have. Also hover, so that I know how much longer I have before I can start, before I have to stand still and cast again. I use it for Obsidian Scales, because most of the time I'm taking the PvP talent. Just put it up here. Obsidian Metal, that way I know that I have silence and interrupt immunities. Also, Renewing Blaze, which I changed the icon of it, Temporal Shield, because I'm normally a mage player and that just makes more sense to me on the screen. What else? Time Stop, so that I know if I'm immune. Dragon Rage, to know that how long I have to extend my cooldown for. Gladiator's Badge. This is all damage modifiers. Iridescence, red and blue, which is a build that I'm testing out right now. So when you press empowered ability, it'll just show up on the screen with the stacks so that I know the increased damage. So I could do something like this for the red side, right? So watch. So I'll get my charge blast up. The 20 stacks. Boom, there it is. That'll tell me when. And so now I want to combo this with my red and my Shattering Star and my Charge Blast for as much damage as I could possibly output. So I'm going to quickly go over how to set up your Tell Me When. So all you do is just download the add-on, and then it's /TMW, which will bring up the options interface. And all you have to do is right click one of these free squares right here. And then you will go to spell cooldown or buff and debuff, item cooldown even. You know, you can even recreate all of your bars with it if you wanted to. But just to give you an example of something I would track. So spell cooldown, Shattering Star, right? So then baseline, all you would do is you would do timer and text. So when it's ready, it'll be 100%. And when it's not ready, maybe I have it a little bit dimmed, right? And then these basic settings here for the text displays is just what comes with it. So boom, there it is on my screen. And now when I press it, there it is. Very nice to have. You know, you can customize your UI the way that you want it. And if anybody has any questions for how to set that up in detail, you could always just message me on Discord, and I'll leave a link in the description to join my server. But thank you guys for checking out this add-ons guide for Devastation Evoker for Arena specifically. If you have something you'd like to see me cover, please leave it down in the comments. And as always, if you did enjoy this, please hit that thumbs up on this video and subscribe to the channel, because I am just getting started with all of this Evoker content, and I'm super excited for this season to come out. And so yeah, thank you guys again, and I will catch you guys in the next one.